shift gears a little bit. We saw last week a service audit come out on the Idaho Education Network, and the numbers on usage were pretty spotty. What does that tell you about how you think this program, this system should be reestablished or recalibrated as you go through a new bidding process?
Do I have my staff here that's, this Will here, my Chief of Technology, that's exactly what I hired him for. He is the expert in that department, so I'm going to let him answer that question for you.
I'm sorry, you were asking about the
Okay.
low usage rate? I'll try to stand here for the mic.
low usage rate on the remote classes. What does that tell you folks about how you'd like to see this system recalibrated?
I think when you look at the low statistics, one thing we have to separate immediately is what the IEN is and what a VTC is. VTC standing for video teleconferencing equipment. One of the common misconceptions is that the IEN is VTCs, and they're not. They're actually very separate. The usage rate that was reported was on the VTC usage, not on the IEN usage. The IEN usage is used by almost all students in the state because the IEN is to provide bandwidth to schools. So any high school using the IEN bandwidth, which is all but one in the entire state, is using the IEN. So I want to first separate that out. We're not talking about the IEN, we're talking about video teleconferencing equipment. So then when we start talking about the video teleconferencing equipment, you have to look at why it was created and why it was put out there. That equipment was put out there to service a need where small rural districts did not have access to advanced courses. So you were looking for those students that were capable of taking advanced courses like statistics, but the school couldn't afford to offer it within their schedule. And so the VTCs allowed that select group to take those classes and get those college credits, dual credit enrollment, anything they could that the school couldn't offer. So immediately you're saying, let's take this 9 through 12 population, we're going to shrink it down to just the kids that are ready for those advanced courses. So now you have a very small pocket of students that you're looking at. Then you take that and say, which ones, you give each high school one room. You have one room that can use the video teleconferencing equipment. So now we have a small pocket of students that can take it, and we have a room that's only available a few times a day, whatever period, if they have 4 periods, if they have 6 periods, whatever. So we're shrinking the available population over and over until we get down to that 2% utilization. So our argument would be that 2% is actually a high percentage of the intended audience. So why maybe only 2% are using it? Those 2% are the ones it was intended to put in place. It was intended to help those students, and those are the students it's helping.
But you've got some districts that aren't using it at all, and some that are using it a lot. How do you bridge that gap?
That gap's usually looked at, first you have to look at it on an individual basis, and again, that comes back to Superintendent Ybarra's local control issue. Most of those gaps can be seen in for a couple of reasons. The most common being scheduling conflicts. They may be on a modified block. Some schools, for example, Mountain Home, have Monday is one type of a schedule, Tuesday and Wednesday are completely different than all the other days, and then Thursday, Friday are the same as Monday. And you compare that up to a school that has a traditional 7-period day, and then compare that up to a school that has an A-B day, where every other day is different. It's very difficult for a school like Mountain Home to be able to schedule classes consistently with a school on a different type of schedule. So they may not have the same utilization because it doesn't fit their schedule. The only way to fix that would be to take away their local control, which we're not willing to do.